If you clicked on this video wondering whether Tom Bower truly believes Meghan Markle changed the course of Prince Harry's entire life, then stay with me, because this story goes far beyond another royal headline. It touches on loyalty, ambition, family, identity, regret, and the consequences of life-changing decisions. For years, the relationship between Prince Harry and Meghan Markle has remained one of the most debated topics in modern royal history. Supporters see a couple who chose love and independence over tradition. Critics see a story of division, lost relationships, and missed opportunities. Among those critics, royal author Tom Bower has been particularly outspoken. Recently, Bower made a striking observation. According to him, the real story is not simply about Meghan Markle. It is about Prince Harry himself, a man who walked away from almost everything that once defined him. Before Meghan entered his life, Harry occupied a unique position within the royal family. He was one of the most popular members of the monarchy. He had wealth, influence, global recognition, and a future that seemed secure. While he often spoke about personal struggles and frustrations, he still had a strong support system around him. He had lifelong friends who had known him since childhood. He had close family connections, military colleagues, charitable organizations, and a clearly defined role within one of the most famous institutions in the world. According to Bower, Harry possessed something many people spend their entire lives searching for: purpose, belonging, and stability. Then, Meghan Markle arrived. Bower argues that Meghan entered Harry's world with ambitions that extended far beyond royal duties. Quite the opposite. He repeatedly emphasizes that Harry made his own choices. He chose to pursue the relationship. He chose to defend Meghan against criticism. He chose to leave royal life. And he chose to publicly challenge members of his own family. That distinction is important because Bower believes responsibility ultimately belongs to Harry as much as anyone else. Still, he argues that Harry was particularly vulnerable. For decades, Harry carried emotional scars from the loss of his mother, Princess Diana. He often spoke about feelings of loneliness, anger, and frustration. Several relationships had ended unsuccessfully, and many observers believed he was searching for someone who could provide emotional stability. According to Bower, Meghan appeared at exactly the right moment. She offered support, attention, reassurance, and understanding. For a man who often felt isolated, that connection quickly became powerful. Bower believes that Meghan became the person Harry trusted above everyone else. To understand why Bower reaches these conclusions, he often points to the earliest days of their relationship. One incident frequently mentioned involves a weekend gathering attended by many of Harry's oldest friends. These were not casual acquaintances. These were people who had known Harry for years. They shared jokes, traditions, and experiences that stretched back decades. According to accounts gathered during Bower's research, Meghan reportedly struggled to connect with some members of that group. Several attendees allegedly felt uncomfortable after disagreements emerged regarding jokes, opinions. For Bower, the significance of that gathering extends far beyond a single uncomfortable weekend. He sees it as an early indication of a larger pattern. Rather than Meghan adapting to Harry's world, Bower argues that Harry gradually began adapting his world around Meghan. Over time, friendships faded, old relationships weakened, long-standing connections appeared to disappear. According to Bower, this was the beginning of Harry's separation from many of the people who had once formed the foundation of his life. Another example frequently cited involves communication. Reports emerged suggesting that Harry became increasingly difficult for certain friends and even some family members to contact. Contact details reportedly changed. Communication became less frequent. Relationships that once seemed natural began to drift apart. Whether intentional or not, the result was growing distance. And distance eventually became one of the defining themes of Harry's relationship with the royal family. Bower believes Meghan became the central influence through which Harry interpreted events around him. Small disagreements became larger conflicts. Existing frustrations intensified. Long-standing tensions evolved into serious disputes. The version of Harry many people remembered, the outgoing, relaxed prince who appeared comfortable in royal life, seemed to change dramatically. Critics of Meghan often point to what they perceive as contradictions in her public image. They argue that she has criticized aspects of royal life while continuing to benefit from the visibility and prestige associated with royal titles. Bower shares many of those concerns. He argues that Meghan never intended to remain within the royal system permanently. Instead, he believes her long-term goal was always to establish an independent global brand while maintaining the influence that came with her royal connection. According to Bauer, concerns about Meghan's compatibility with royal life emerged much earlier than most people realize. He claims that advisors within royal circles noticed difficulties during her introduction to palace life. Questions reportedly arose regarding whether she would be comfortable with the restrictions, traditions, and expectations attached to royal duties. As tensions became more visible, those concerns allegedly intensified. One particularly notable claim involves Queen Camilla. According to Bauer, Camilla privately expressed concerns that Harry had become heavily influenced by Meghan. Whether people agree with that assessment or not, Bauer presents it as evidence that worries about Harry's transformation existed behind palace walls long before the public disputes became international news. William reportedly had concerns as well. Before Harry and Meghan became engaged, reports suggested that William encouraged his younger brother to take more time before making such a significant commitment. Others within Harry's circle allegedly shared similar reservations, yet Harry remained determined. In fact, Bauer argues that every warning may have strengthened Harry's commitment rather than weakened it. This leads to one of the most important questions in the entire debate. Was Harry manipulated, or did he knowingly choose this path? Bauer's answer is nuanced. He acknowledges Harry's emotional vulnerabilities and personal struggles. He recognizes that Harry may have genuinely believed he had found the partner he had always been searching for. But he also insists that Harry remains responsible for his own decisions. Nobody forced him to leave the royal family. Nobody forced him to publicly criticize relatives. Nobody forced him to distance himself from lifelong friends. Those choices, Bauer says, belong to Harry. At the same time, he argues that Meghan understood Harry exceptionally well and recognized exactly what he needed emotionally. Whether that influence developed naturally or strategically remains one of the most fiercely debated aspects of the story. Years later, the results of those decisions remain the subject of intense discussion. When Harry and Meghan left royal life, many believed they would build a powerful and highly successful independent empire. The possibilities appeared endless. Major media deals generated global headlines. Streaming partnerships attracted enormous attention. New business ventures promised exciting opportunities. Yet the reality has proven more complicated. Several projects failed to achieve the impact many expected. Critics questioned the couple's direction. Public support fluctuated. Business partnerships evolved, and some high-profile initiatives struggled to maintain momentum. For Bauer, these developments matter because they reveal what he sees as a larger pattern. Harry left one world believing another would provide greater freedom, greater opportunity, and greater happiness. Instead, he now finds himself navigating uncertainty. His legal battle regarding security arrangements in Britain ended unsuccessfully. Relationships with key family members remain strained. Public perception continues to shift, and the future appears far less predictable than it once did. Another topic generating significant attention involves Harry and Meghan's marriage itself. Various reports have suggested that the couple increasingly focus on separate projects and professional priorities. Different public appearances and individual initiatives have fueled speculation about possible distance between them. Not everyone agrees with those interpretations. In fact, Bauer himself has cautioned against drawing dramatic conclusions without stronger evidence. He believes Harry remains deeply committed to Meghan and continues to rely heavily on the relationship. Nevertheless, the speculation continues. Observers wonder whether the shared mission that once defined the Sussex brand still exists in the same form today. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of Bauer's analysis involves the subject of regret. He believes signs are emerging that Harry may be reflecting on everything he left behind, not through direct admissions, not through dramatic public statements, but through subtle comments about reconciliation, family, and the importance of healing old wounds. If Bauer is correct, it raises a difficult reality. William does not appear to need reconciliation in the same way Harry might. William has a clearly defined future. He has his responsibilities, his family, and his place within the monarchy. Harry, meanwhile, often appears to be looking backward, looking toward relationships that have been damaged, looking toward a world he once knew, and wondering whether those bridges can ever truly be rebuilt. He argues that many relationships were damaged along the way. Friendships faded, family bonds fractured, former supporters became critics, and according to his interpretation, Prince Harry stands as the clearest example of that cost. A man who gave up an extraordinary life because he believed he was building something better. A man who may now be questioning what was gained and what was lost. Whether history eventually proves Tom Bower right or wrong remains uncertain. What is certain, however, is that the debate surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle shows no signs of disappearing. Years after their dramatic departure from royal life, questions remain unanswered. Did Harry find the freedom he was searching for? Did Meghan achieve the future she envisioned? Were the sacrifices worth the rewards? And perhaps most importantly, can the relationships damaged along the way ever truly be repaired? Those questions continue to divide royal watchers around the world, and as new developments emerge, the conversation surrounding Harry, Meghan, and the choices that changed everything may be far from over.